Hello YouTubers, it's Heather here. Today I'm going to do a video on making homemade tomato sauce. I know I already did a video similar to this, but I do believe I left out some steps. Hi kitty. Get down off the counter, kitty. Those are some of my kitties. Here comes my other cat. They're going to have to get off the counter. Anyway, I'm going to do a video of that. These are some of my garden tomatoes. These two here, I believe, are from the store. These two. I have Brandywine tomatoes, which are pretty good. I have Roma tomatoes. I have the Cherokee purple, which is one of my favorites. I got some of the vine ripened and a beefsteak here. And some more Romas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boil these just until the skin starts to crack, because I'm actually taking the skin off of these tomatoes. I'll be back with that step in a few minutes. Okay, our tomatoes are boiling on medium high. As you can tell, the skin is already starting to peel on a couple of these. Depending on how big your tomatoes are, you want to boil them approximately maybe 10 minutes. You don't want to get them so boiled to where they get real mushy. Some of these are actually finished. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. These aren't done yet. When they are done, I'm going to take them all out and put them onto a plate and let them cool down for a few minutes. And we'll be back with the next step. Okay, we have most of our tomatoes finished. Actually, I might have overdid a couple. They're really peeling like crazy here. Now, of course, when you do your recipe, you're probably wondering how many tomatoes to use for this. It's just actually me and my husband eating the sauce, the spaghetti sauce. So if you want like a 6-person serving, you should use about 8 to 10 tomatoes, or maybe 11. I'm using a lot because I want to eat sauce a couple more times. So this would probably give me 3 spaghetti sauce meals. These are almost done. Like I said, you don't want to boil them until the tomato gets real soft. Just until the skin starts to look like it's peeling. And I will come back and show you the next step, because I'm going to get some of the seeds out of these when I come back. And then I'm going to cut them up into little chunks. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, we're back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get another plate. And I'm going to start cutting up my tomatoes. They're still very hot. I'm just going to slice them right down the middle like this. Oops. And you'll see like this jelly center here. You're going to want to take that out if you don't want seeds. Just be careful, because you are probably going to get some seeds still in your sauce. I like a little bit of seeds. I think it adds a little extra flavor and a little bit more like fiber. Now I'm going to cut my tomatoes up like this in a bunch of different sizes. If you want a chunkier sauce, leave them bigger. If you want your sauce... Actually, first I'm going to peel the tomato, which I already did peel this one. There's still a little bit of skin on there. You want to peel the skin before you cut the tomato. So this one's finished. If you want your sauce to be less chunky, just cut your tomato pieces smaller. I'm going to cut mine in different sizes.
This is a great example of the tidal movement around Alcatraz Island. I did just about a 5-knot tide. It is possible to swim from Alcatraz to the main.
Lots of different sizes here.
During the brief period when the tides are turning and the currents slow down.
You're going to make sure you want to keep the juice from the tomato slices. So just make sure you don't have any cores in there. Like there's real hard cores there. You don't want that. You want to just throw that out.
There were other hazards.
Just cut them up, different sizes, depending on how you want your sauce. I like mine a little chunkier, so my slices are going to be a little bit bigger. And this is what I have so far. A lot of liquid. We still have a lot of seeds, of course. I'm going to get most of them out. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take another pot.
The frigid water that frightened Bill Baker is caught by an upwelling of cold
I'm going to pour my tomatoes through this strainer into a pot. Now you're going to get some seeds because they're going to go through these holes, but a lot of them will be left behind. You want to get all your juice into the pot without your tomatoes for now, because you're just, basically getting some of them seeds out of there. Of course, you're going to be left with a lot of seeds. So we have a little bit of juice in there now. And of course, we still have our seeds with our tomato. So I don't really think this was very smart, but I just did. But I can still pick out the tomato pieces pretty easily and put them into the pot without getting a lot of those seeds. What I probably should have did was I probably should have took the tomatoes first and put them in here and then siphoned out the juice. But I can, do that next. Next time I do it. I want a little bit of seeds. There's some seeds there that I don't want. I'm just going to set this aside for a second. Since I made a mistake, I can show you exactly what you should do to get rid of the seeds. I'll try this again. Peel the tomato. Whoops, very hot. Take all the skin off. Cut it up. Throw that into the pot. Try not to get the seeds. Try to leave them behind in your juice. Like that. I'm going to do this again. There we go. I know there's another way to remove seeds, but this is just the way I do it because I do want some of them. There's a lot of seeds left over, so I'll be able to get rid of a lot of them. If they're in the juice there. You don't want any of that core. As you can tell, I have mostly juice left with seeds. So I'm going to show you the step again. I'm just going to go ahead and put all this in, even if there's seeds in there for now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now we do it. The juice is going to go into the pot without the seeds. So there's your seeds. And that gets thrown away. Who escaped the Ivan prison on June 11th, 1962. Now I'm not going to turn this on yet because I'm not really cooking it just yet until I get everything in there, all the tomatoes. Take this away just for now. I got a horrible paper cut on my finger. It kind of burns. Go ahead and remove it again. Remove the skin again. Cut it right down the middle. And you can also remove some of the seeds like this. Put that jelly looking center in there. Just pull it out. Oh, it's very hot. And just toss it away. And just cut it on up.
The official Bureau of Prisons report on these three men in the raft is
there's not many seeds in that one. A little bit will be left behind there. I'll go ahead and put that in to the pot.
But this was never proved. And when the story broke around the world,
now I'm going to come back with the next step so that you don't have to keep watching me cut all these tomatoes up. Basically, I'm going to cut them all up and just do what I'm doing.
Their goal was to find them, dead or alive.
Some seeds out of there again.
Though they never discovered
I got mine cut up in different shapes and sizes. It don't really matter. And I'm going to go ahead and do the siphon out the juice thing again. Because we want the juice. We want the tomatoes and the juice too. Okay, I'll come back with the next step right after this gets all cut up.
All over the Bay Area. No signs of the man.
Okay, this is what we end up with. And we have a little more juice here. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get out more of the seeds by pouring this into here for one more siphoning out of the seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour this into here. And I might have to technically do that again. I did turn my pot on to number 2 for now. Whoops. And of course I'm going to use the tomatoes as well. Okay. You see all the juice in there with only a few seeds. Just going to try to get them out as much as I can. You really don't need to worry about getting the seeds out if you don't want.
And is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand.
A little bit more juice. And there's all your seeds.
The quicker picker-upper.
Okay, you're still going to have seeds. But I'm going to go ahead and pour this into here because this is my larger pan. So we got 50% of those seeds out of there. I'm going to rinse my other pot. I'm going to save this for my mushrooms and my garlic. I'm not going to do an onion sauce. I usually do. But I'm just going to go ahead and do a mushroom and garlic. And I can show you the next steps to that. I'm going to go ahead and cook this for a little while. I'm not going to put any salt or anything in here yet. And no herbs. I could put a little bit of salt if I wanted. But technically you just want to let this cook. Now I'm going to turn this on to about medium, number 4. You don't want it to boil, but you do want it to simmer a little bit. Just go ahead and check your sauce to make sure that you got all the skin. And of course, this is about a 6 to 7 person serving. I used about like 10 to 12 tomatoes, I believe it was. This is what you'll have. Now, this is going to cook for 1.5 to 2 hours until these tomatoes break down. Now, if you're pressed for time, you could put this gently into a blender and get these broken down even quicker. But I like a chunky sauce, so I'm doing it this way. Make sure you don't have any of those cores in there. So that looks pretty good. I am going to sprinkle just a little pinch of salt in there. If you were to taste this now, it would be horrible. It would be acidy. But a lot of these tomatoes this time were very red and ripe. So it's actually not very acidy this time, I noticed. You want really nice ripe tomatoes in your sauce. And if you're the type that don't want to add sugar, you want to make sure you get low acid tomatoes. I'm not sure right offhand what a low acid tomato is. I do believe the Cherokee Purple is a lower acid, and possibly the Roma tomato. I'm going to give it a little stir. I got that cooking on medium for now, and I want to check this every 15 minutes, and I want to give it a little stir like this, about every 15, maybe every 20. I will be back with the next steps. This will be simmering for about 1.5 to 2 hours, but I'll come back and I'll cut up my garlic and my my other stuff that I'm going to put in here. My mushroom. Oh, and don't forget to put the lid on. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to cut up my garlic. I got some garlic here that I'm going to use. Now, the one thing I did leave out, the step I left out, was you want to put about a tablespoon of olive oil into your sauce for now when you get ready to cook it. You don't have to do that step, but it does make it taste better, I think. And it actually acts as a slight thickener for your sauce. Now, some people like to use paste. I do like paste, and I am going to use it. You can make your own paste if you like. Basically, I heard there's two ways you can make it. You can put chunks of tomato in your oven, I think, for 30 minutes. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to go ahead and say that on the video. But you can make paste in your oven, or you can make it on your stove. You can actually take some of this sauce and put it into a pan and stir it really fast, and it will thicken. But I'm just going to go ahead and use regular paste. I'm just going to cut up some garlic. I'm going to mince it up. Now I'm going to probably use a lot of garlic just because I like it. You don't have to add garlic, but it does make your sauce more, authentic and really good, I think. If you want to do it the real Italian way. But you don't have to do that. And I'm also going to use powdered garlic as well. I'm just going to cut all this up. And also, I'm going to cut up my mushroom. I didn't buy an onion, I actually forgot. So I'm not really going to use onion. I usually do onion. I guess I'll do something different. I usually get cremini mushrooms or white, but this time I got the portobello mushroom. So I'm going to go ahead and also cut that up. I'm not going to cook any of this yet, because you're not going to want to put anything in your sauce until the end, until you simmer it later with all the herbs and spices. I'll come back with the next step. Now, since garlic cooks slower than mushroom, you're going to want to cook your garlic in the pan with some olive oil first, like for about 4 minutes before you add your mushrooms, because they will get softer and soggy. So you want to do that. And you want to cook it probably just for about 7 or 8 minutes on low medium, or just medium. I'm just going to be here cutting up garlic and mushroom, and I'll come back with the next step. Now, I noticed my sauce was simmering a bit too much, so I did turn it down to 2.5 to 3. You don't want it to really boil and bubble a whole lot, and you do want to stir it every 15 minutes. I got my garlic in here, but I'm not cooking it just yet. I'm going to wait about an hour to do that. As you can tell, the tomatoes are already breaking down into smaller pieces. I'm going to go ahead and cut up my mushroom as well. But I'm not going to cook that yet. I am going to add a little bit of the olive oil that I said earlier. Just like a half a tablespoon for now. About a teaspoon of that. Give that a stir. I'm not going to add any water just yet, but I am going to end up adding about a 1/3 cup. You don't have to add water, but I just want to make a lot of sauce. And I may even add in, if I don't have enough, then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this sauce in, but I might not. But for my paste, I am going to add some organic tomato paste, just because I like it nice and rich. You don't have to add paste, technically. And I will add a little pinch of sugar, maybe a tablespoon or two, maybe more. I usually add about 4 or 5 tablespoons, but this time I might not do that. These tomatoes are very ripe, and they're more sweet than acidy. It just depends on your taste. I do like a bit of sugar, though, because it takes away the acid. You do want to give it a good stir about every 15. I'm going to go ahead and come back with the next steps.